big message you would send to people about what do we need to be doing as society to make our fight against climate change really work?
I think the big message that's come out from our conversations are energy sits at the heart of this. It's absolutely where it's at. My own point of view is my glass is half full. I think we've made enormous progress in the UK in a short space of time. 3 months recently with over 50% of energy coming from zero carbon. That's wonderful. The next steps though are much, much harder, and we're just not moving fast enough. We need to get all of the energy industry involved, not just the clean energy companies, all the startups. We need to get the oil and gas sector. They've got the technology, the financial resources, the science there. They've got to play a major part in this, and they've got to do more. We absolutely need to make sure that we stop arguing about which technology is the right technology, because we need all of them. So there's a real sense, I think, coming out of this about we know an awful lot of the answers. It's about how do we inject pace? How do we inject pace now and stop thinking about 2050, which is a long way off? Start thinking about what can we achieve by 2030? How can we inject some real pace and momentum behind that? And I think that's going to require leadership. Leadership from the people who lead the organisations, not just relying on government actually setting a framework.
So many points you picked on. You mentioned zero carbon homes, which I found really interesting. You were almost like annoyed that.
Hugely annoyed. I mean, there was a policy, if you go back, it was in the Labour government, where they were going to go for zero carbon homes. It was going to be mandated, and it was cancelled. That's over 10 years ago now. So we built millions of homes since that are to whatever technology the builders decided. But also there was a cost understanding at that stage, as there often are on new technology. So it's going to cost a premium on homes. But I'm a great believer is those costs would have come down enormously by now, actually. So besides the fact our housing stock would be better, the cost of those technologies in new homes today would be much lower than they are today. So it was a lost opportunity, and I believe in the next few years we'll probably introduce exactly the same thing. All new buildings in all new homes need to be a minimum standard, which is not even stretching technology. These are technologies that have been around for a long time. So yeah, you're right, I'm quite irritated by that. It's an opportunity lost for the UK.
Would you be, some politicians are already calling for it, but you actually have, solar panels must be stuck on every house.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole series of things that I would mandate. So the smart home principle, the automation, mandate it. We've got buildings today, big office buildings, that are claiming awards of are they the top standard or the middle standard or the low standard. Well, why are we doing that? Why aren't they all at the top standard? Absolutely set the bar. And if we set the bar, plenty of history here goes in, as in renewables. If we set the bar quite high, industry and society will deliver, and then we can push the bar up even higher again. We're being far too conservative in this area.
We've got Kwasi Kwarteng talking in a few minutes' time. What would you say to him?
I would say to him some of the things that I've been saying since I retired, I think, after being in a big structural regulated business, that these problems require a different approach. So some of our political systems and our regulatory systems are not fit for purpose, I would argue. So let's find a policy that's acceptable to everybody in society. Well, that's not going to work, as we can see. Let's have a regulatory process that means that every time we make a change, we consult and we consult and we consult, and by the time we've got the answer, the world's already moved on. So I think my question to him would be, how are we going to change some of the systems and processes very quickly so we can inject this sense of pace? And government's role is to facilitate by setting some very brave targets, not necessarily to plan in great intimate detail.
It's part of the problem with the political process, because last year the speaker here was a woman called Claire Perry. This year is a different minister. Is it that cyclical or that changing nature of government part of the problem?
I kind of hate. I used to talk about how many energy ministers I'd worked with in my time. It was 14, I think. So
in 10 years.
So we know it's a revolving door. But I think we're back in answering the question, is this an issue that government need to lead on? And I think my suggestion is they need to facilitate and set some brave targets. I think it's up to industry to lead. There are businesses in here, their role in society is to lead. It's to make their business successful, but it's to really be brave and lead. So I think we need to shift some of the emphasis away from it's all government's fault. They've got a part to play. They're not in complete control of the situation. We need to make sure the energy industry is really brave and leading this massive revolution in our energy systems.
Do you think Extinction Rebellion and the amount of publicity they have gained in the last few months is actually helpful?
Yeah, I do. I think Extinction Rebellion, on balance, have helped because it's sort of upped the ante. It's got people talking about it, people that might not otherwise been thinking about it. It's got some companies now where through their AGMs and shareholder meetings, someone's going to stand up and be challenging. That bit of it is helpful. We've got to be careful as all these things. It doesn't go slightly too far, particularly in terms of misleading information. So setting a target of let's decarbonise by 2025, well, I wish, let's be realistic. So let's put the pressure on, absolutely, to do more, but let's also not mislead the public into what can be achieved.
And is for you Brexit just a minor distraction, or do you think it could have a long-term effect on the way that the UK decarbonises?
I don't think, in terms of Brexit, has always been an issue in terms of some of our energy systems and the interconnectability that need to survive post-Brexit. But I think we've got a commitment from all parties in the UK in terms of decarbonisation, and the zero by 2050 is a UK target, not a European target. So we've kind of overtaken it. It was always helpful that we were part of Europe. We certainly started, didn't we, in a sense, with them putting some pressure on us to be part of it. I think we're beyond that now, so I don't see that as a problem.